you've been at these high levels, you've been in the intense competitive. As a player, you wanted to get there, and as a coach, you were helping kids get there. But then you stepped away and said, you know what? Like, we've got to make this game fun. We've got to help kids genuinely love the game. So, what was it in you that created the shift to go from, I'm not saying this is bad over here, but I want to spend my time on the fun and love side of the game?
Yeah, first and foremost, don't get me wrong, there are some fantastic things that happen in elite and academy football. And I was part of that for a large part of my coaching career in life and saw firsthand the benefits that children can get from that when it's done right. There were two things that really prompted me to leave and to go and do what I'm doing now. First and foremost, I was seeing children at the age of 7, 8, 9 years of age come in with a massive smile on their face, love what they're doing, and football was a passion for them. Within 6, 12, 18 months, sometimes a little bit longer, you saw that love, that pure joy, elation when they turned up to training just fade. And it started for children at the age of 10 years old becoming like a job. And at the end of the season, they would get a retain or a release letter from the club to let them know if they've made it to next year. And you just saw this pressure pouring on these young children. And it was just, to be honest, horrible to see and horrible to then be a part of, really. So that was one driving factor. The other one, I'll tell you a quick story. I was very fortunate throughout my time at Cambridge United, the professional football club that I was at. They put me through a number of coaching qualifications and some fantastic ones. And I worked really closely with a number of brilliant coaches on those courses. And one of my evaluations, there was a video of me delivering the session, and I was going through it with the coach educator, and I was watching it and I was horrified. This video that I was watching of me coaching, I was thinking, that's not me. Like when I first started coaching, and I am now, again, it's sort of the shackles have been lifted. I'm a big kid, run around, have just as much fun as the kids do, smile on my face, 100 million rubbish jokes throughout my session. And I was watching this video of me and I was thinking, that isn't me. That's not my personality. That's not my coaching style. And that was a bit of a wake up call, really, to evaluate what I was doing.
Yeah, we interviewed Jason Sachs, who's the president or the CEO of Positive Coaching Alliance here in the States. And he said that there was once a video with him coaching high school basketball. And he saw the video of himself coaching and he's like, ooh, I wouldn't want to play for me. And that was kind of his turning point of getting to where he is now too. And it's a lot of times, and I have so much empathy for parents because a lot of times we don't realize what we're doing until we do. And it's like, oh, once we realize that it's the story I tell people all the time of why I started this platform was my daughter was part of a soccer tournament. They were playing, I think, U10 or U11. So most of the girls were 8 and 9, maybe a couple 10-year-olds. And we're a recreation team, grassroots in your language. And we're playing against, and this is end of season tournament, against like the lowest level of competitive soccer. So a step up for us, but still a fairly low level. And after one of the games, I saw a dad just yelling at his daughter, and she had been 8 or 9 years old, and she started crying and leaned into mom. And he kept going. He didn't stop. And I felt sympathy for the girl at the time, but I felt empathy for that dad because I don't think anyone had ever taught him how to handle that better. I don't even think he realized what he was doing in that moment. He just had some unregulated emotions and he was trying to get it. That doesn't excuse it, but
No.
I'm just convinced that just like you as a coach who saw yourself and realized, hey, I'm doing this wrong. I don't think most parents realize that the pressure they're putting on kids is what they're actually doing.
You don't know what you don't know, right? There's a early memory that I have when I first started coaching, and the children weren't listening. So I got them, must have been 17, 18 years of age coaching. So the children weren't listening. So I got them to do press ups because that's what I was told to do when I didn't listen, when I was a 10-year-old. And then it's only when you then get told, no, that's not right. Don't do that. You then realize and go, obviously that's not right. That's what I shouldn't be doing. And it, like you say, unless you're educated or exposed to people that can educate you, then it is hard because you You don't know what you don't know.
So I don't want to make an assumption here. Why is it wrong to do that type of exercise as a punishment for not listening? What did you learn in that situation?
Good question. What I've learned now is the best way to influence a group of children to do the things that you want to do. You can do that through positive reinforcement, and you can do that by noticing and praising the children that are listening and doing as you ask and following instructions. A great example of that, and a top tip that hopefully some of the listeners can apply to their sessions, is rather than saying don't be last, say who can be first. So when you're trying to call the group of children in and you want to give them the next coaching point, I used to always say don't be last. You'd always get one or two children drag the heels and be the last ones in. The reason they do that is because they then want your attention as a coach, and they want you to show them some attention and from the other children. When you then change the language, and it's such a subtle change, but you say who can be first, all of the children sprint in. I guarantee anyone listening, if you try that in your next session, that will change like that instantly.